Hey guys, if we haven't had a chance to meet, I'm Matt Hench, and now we're officially friends. So I got this crazy story, but before we get into it, I need you to agree that you're gonna tell your grandparents about this, or somebody elderly that you know, or a friend that's elderly, or just tell somebody. Thanks. So this is nuts. Like, where do I even start? My grandpa got a phone call from me, and I was in jail. The only problem is, it wasn't the real me. So it was a scammer pretending to be me. And here's how this conversation went. I'll tell the story as if I'm the scammer, as if I'm me and the scammer. Let's get into it. So my grandpa got a call. And on the other line, I said, "Hey grandpa, it's Matt Hench. I have to tell you something, but I need you not to tell anybody else." And my grandpa, he had my back, man. I'll tell you what, he was like, "You can count on me, buddy." I said, "Well, grandpa, I have a broken nose, I have broken teeth." My grandpa cuts me off and he goes, "Well, what stupid thing did you do now?" So I said, "Look, I was in a car crash. It was at an intersection. I'm blaming her, she's blaming me. They don't really know who's at fault yet. Her airbag went off and she's pregnant. So if the tests come back that the baby's killed, then I'm gonna be charged with manslaughter." So right now they have me in a jail on $7,800 bail. When the police came to investigate, they checked me for alcohol and I was clean, but I had alcohol in the back, but it belonged to somebody else, but they were still gonna charge me with the DUI. So time out, let me just clarify something. I don't drink, probably significant to the story. Time in. So I take the phone and I give it to my lawyer, fake lawyer. Again, this isn't real, it's just a scam. And the lawyer takes the phone. He's like, "Hey, I'm so-and-so, I'm representing Matt, I'll be defending him. He's gonna have to go through all this, and like because of the DUI, he's gonna have to go to these classes, but I think I can get it down to just a few hours instead of a few days." There was a camera at the intersection, and once that shows that Matt wasn't at fault, then he should be clear and the whole thing will be over. All I need is for you to send me $7,800 bail money and Matt gets out of prison. So my grandpa, being a little skeptical, he's like, well, is there any way I can confirm this? Do you work out of Carlisle? Is there someone that you know in Carlisle that I can talk to and be like, "Oh yeah, this is legit"? And he goes, "Well, I'm in Ohio." Time out. Why would I have a lawyer from Ohio? I've been to Ohio like 2 times in my life, and I hardly remember either of them. Time it. So he's like, "No, I'm out of Ohio. The closest I've ever been is Philadelphia. Maybe I have some contacts there." My grandpa was a little skeptical, which was awesome. Good job, grandpa. He calls the jail, the Carlisle prison, and he's like, "Hey, do you guys have Matt Hench?" And the jail said, "No, we don't. In fact, we don't have anybody new from today, and we think you're being scammed. Thank you, Carlisle prison, so much." So he calls my dad and he's like, "Hey, is Matt in jail?" And explains the whole scenario, and my dad's like, "Yeah, I don't think so." So my dad calls me and he goes, "Hey Matt, are you at work?" And I was on lunch, so I wasn't at work. I said, "No." And he said, "Well, are you in jail needing $7,800 bail?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, "Okay, thanks, that's all I need." What? So he explains a little bit to me. I'm still holding this phone. This is a phone, by the way. So he calls grandpa and says, "No, I'm fine." But I'm like, I should probably touch base with grandpa as well. Like, make sure that he knows I'm okay. So I call grandpa and I'm like, "Hey, this is the real Matt Hench. Not in jail, don't need you to send me a bunch of money. I am on lunch at work, it's fine." So he went on to say how realistic he was. He was like, it was so real. He's like, anybody could have fallen for this. He's like, and it didn't necessarily sound like me, but it sounded like somebody that had their teeth and their nose broken. So I don't know, they were probably talking like this or something. But this is crazy. This could happen to anybody. Like, anybody's grandparents could just get a call pretending to be you to try to rip off your own family. Like, that's horrible. Oh, it's disgusting that they're preying on the elderly population. Obviously it works, because they wouldn't be doing it if people weren't falling for it. And I don't want your people, I do not want your grandparents falling for this. So just please call up your grandparents today and let them know. Like, just, you don't have to give them the whole story. You don't have to send them this video. You could. I would love for your grandparents to subscribe to me, honestly. That would be the best. But honestly, just be like, hey, this happened to a friend of mine and I don't want it to happen to you. So if someone calls saying this, just hang up and call me. I'm sorry, don't have them call me, call you. Have them hang up with the scammer and call the real you to verify everything's okay. Okay, so in conclusion, don't let your grandparents get scammed and don't be a scammer, all right? Just don't do it. Have some decency, be a human, show some love, okay? Like I said in the beginning, I'm Matt Hench. If you like the video, make sure you hit subscribe. I think there's a bell somewhere that does something. Give the video some thumbs up. Don't give it thumbs down. If you didn't like the video, instead of giving it a thumbs down, I'd just like for you to comment and like give me advice. You know, I want to make this better. When I first started this channel, I was like 700 subs. That's when I know I've made it. I know that's totally a joke now, but like we're coming up on 700 and like it was my number, so let's just like, let's make it happen and then let's just do something crazy when it does, all right? Let's do it. Let's just do it. Thanks to my friend in Tennessee for getting me this free shirt. Thanks to TJ for this incredibly dope Banshee Mama TJ hat. Be sure to go check him out. And last but not least, I just need to show you the chair I'm sitting in. Look at this chair. It's like this infant child, little toddler rocking chair, and I'm here's the floor. Like I'm standing now. I love you all, and thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, my patience wearing thin, and I'm stressed right